What is up, my friends? How are you guys doing today? I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Thank you for spending some of your time with me to talk about some movies. Today, guys, we're talking about a little movie from 2020 directed by one of my favorite directors, Mr. Neil Marshall. This is called The Reckoning. Before we get started, hit that like and subscribe button, and we'll dive right into this. So, The Reckoning is basically a witch hunt movie. It's about witches. We're just going to get that right out there in the open because we're not going to talk a whole lot about the plot. The plot is pretty simple. It's the time of the plague. There is, sickness and death all around. This lady's husband, they have a child. This lady's husband goes to the pub to sell some barley or grain or something to the tavern keep. He winds up drinking a beer that's been contaminated with the plague. And so he doesn't get his wife sick and his child sick. He, offs himself. And so, she then has to take it into her own hands to survive during this plague. Being a woman, she has no rights. It's like the 15th century or something. And she's just, she's kind of left to her own devices by her husband. And then, her husband doesn't own the land he's on. It's owned by a squire that he works the land for, and the squire has a thing for the wife and wants the wife, and when he can't have her, he accuses her of witchcraft, and we go from there. Basic story. Let's burn her at the stake. Let's make her confess. And so we have, Charlotte Kirk. She is our witch. She's our main protagonist. Haversworth is her last name. She's the one accused of being a witch. But she has a long history with Sean Pertwee, who is he's like a witch hunter. He's an inquisitor, basically. He interrogates the people who are accused of witchcraft, yada yada, and basically tortures them until they break. And that's what this movie is really about, is her being defiant and I'm a God-fearing woman. I'm not a witch. These people have accused me because one couldn't have my body and the other one couldn't have the land. Just different stuff like that. And it could have been better. Charlotte Kirk did really well, I thought. Sean Pertwee was kind of pretentious. Maybe he was supposed to be pretentious in his role, but it just didn't seem like he was there wasn't very much passion in it, you know what I mean? And so, I thought, again, Charlotte Kirk was good. Steve Waddington is the squire who owns the land that her husband was working, and he's good as the scumbag, like, I could make your life easier if you just come live with me, work with me, I'll raise your children, I'll raise your kids. He's just that guy who's just trying to take advantage of her after she's in an already horrible situation with the plague going about and all this kind of thing. So, the acting, pretty good. Let's talk about the directing. Neil Marshall, he used to be loosely, he used to be a really solid director. I enjoyed most of his films. I mean, he made Dog Soldiers, which in my opinion is one of the best werewolf films, ever put on film. He made Doomsday, which I thought was a decent action film. He made The Descent, which is a fantastic horror film. It is full of claustrophobia and anxiety and just it's terror inducing. He has made some killer films. And then he's made some real stinkers. And this falls under the category of it's pretty stinky. I mean, it's not the special effects that are, horrible. It's just the way that he uses, the interrogation. And the thing is, he helped write this with Charlotte Kirk. And the way he has some of the devices that are shown, you don't see them being used, but they're pretty, described in graphic detail. But the story isn't really anything special. It's very cliche. It's very, there's nothing special. He doesn't add anything to the genre. It's not fantastical in any way. There's no fantasy. It's very set in realism. So you don't get a lot of like paranormal witch stuff. You get basically just like a witch trial, or like I said, a woman is basically just denying being a witch and being tortured because she's being denied because she won't admit You know, she keeps calling out the dude at her witch trial. She's like, he wanted me. He couldn't have me. And now he's accusing me of this and getting all of you to turn against me, which is the truth. But it, you know, you can also, it shows the inequality of women back then. You know, one of the ladies at the trial, her husband pretended to be a friend to the lady. You know, she helped raise her children, nurse her children kind of thing. And the husband's one of the people that accused her and got her thrown in the jail to be tortured. It's just, you know, it's very, very, it's dark subject matter, but I don't think that Neil Marshall really brings anything special to it. He doesn't, it almost like he lightens it in a way. He makes it not as dark or as horrifying as it could be. And, you know, for a period piece, it wasn't very, I don't know, it just didn't feel very much like a period piece. There wasn't a lot of period piece dialogue, but there was a lot of costumes, and all the costumes, they looked pretty good. But from top to bottom, I think that the whole film in general just wasn't very entertaining. I don't think that it really grabbed my attention from the beginning. All I saw was, you know, a lady burying her husband and freaking out, and then we did like an hour and a half of a witch trial, and it just wasn't, like I said, there was no gravitas to it. It didn't engage me. It didn't keep me entertained. I was just kind of, you know, trucking through it until the end. I mean, and I didn't find any of the acting to be over the top very good. I thought Charlotte Kirk was decent in her role, but it's not award worthy. She was the best actor in the film. Sean Pertwee was phony feeling. He looked absurd and felt absurd in the role, almost comical, when he was supposed to be a very, very genuinely intimidating dude. And it wasn't entertaining, guys. I didn't like it that much. So, you know, I'm gonna give it probably 2 thumbs down here. You guys can check it out on AMC Plus or Shudder if you really want to. Again, if you're into witches and witch trials and stuff like that, you'll probably dig it. If not, it's kind of a slog through unnecessary garbage. So that's just my thoughts on it, guys. Thanks for hanging around. Thanks for talking with me a little bit about it, or listening to me talk about it, I should say. And hit that like and subscribe button on the way out. I'm going to keep making them, my friends, as long as you keep watching them. Thanks so much. God bless you. Peace out, and I will see you soon.